G'day there everyone, Daniel Anderson here. Now in this video we are going to take a look at Microsoft 365 Copilot and how you can use that to generate a SharePoint page with FAQs based on a policy document that you might have living in, let's say, a policies and procedures library. That's the focus of today's video. But before we do that, if you're not subscribed to the Copilot Studio newsletter, head over to thecopilotstudio.com, pop your email address in there, and you will start receiving at least once a week directly to your inbox actionable insights that you can take away, start to implement, and start to really use Copilot to your advantage inside and as part of your role at your organization to save you time, speed up business processes, and really focus on things that matter in your role and for your business. So head over to thecopilotstudio.com, pop your email address in, and you will receive the next edition directly into your inbox. Now, on to today's episode. We can see here that I'm in Copilot for Microsoft 365. Now, I do have a leave, this is just a generic leave policy. It is sitting in my OneDrive for Business at the moment, but it could and obviously would be living in a policy library or a SharePoint site, a document library in a particular site. It doesn't matter, we can still use exactly the same process. So we can see here we've got a few sections for our leave policy, but what we want to do is rather than have users have to search through this document or try and find answers, let's give them an FAQ page from SharePoint where they can go to and get their questions answered directly on that particular page. So I'm just going to drag this across. This is where Copilot for Microsoft 365 can come in extremely handy. Now the prompt I'm going to use here, and we can reference this document. So the prompt I'm going to use here, can you create an FAQ based on this leave policy? And I'm going to use the / here, and you can see that I do have the option to select, and I can start typing in leave policy. Now you can see there that it is referencing that leave policy document that we just saw. I'm then going to send that prompt, and Copilot is going to have a look at that document and create an FAQ list for me that I can then use in a SharePoint page. Now in a SharePoint page, we're going to build out an FAQ page. So we can see here, we've got our questions and our answers coming through. We've also got the citations or the links to the actual document or the leave policy document itself. So what we can do here is take these examples and we can now create an FAQ page in SharePoint. So let's now move across to SharePoint and create our page based on this output. Okay, so let's create our FAQ page for our leave policy. So I'm just going to click the new button. I'm going to click new page. Let's just start with a blank page and we'll create this. Now the title of this page will go leave policy FAQs as our title. And then what we want to do, and what I'm going to make use of here, are collapsible sections. All right. So this section here, we're going to edit this section, and I can make this section collapsible. I'm going to toggle this on. All right. Now I'm going to go back to my FAQs, and I'm going to use the question as the section name. All right. So here's the question. And then the answer, I will pop in the contents of the actual text web part here like so. All right. So now we've got the question as the section name, and we'll see where that comes into play in just a second. And then we've got our answer there. Now, the other thing that we can do is using what we've got as our links. So I can copy the content or the output from Copilot. So I could copy this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use another text web part. I'll just pop this in a one column. I'll just put in a text web part here, and I'll just paste the output of that in. Now what this will give us is the URL of and the links in the output from Copilot. So what I can do now, and this is the first question and answer, what I could do in this section is also add a little button. All right, so I can add a button in here. I'll paste in this link and I can say, read more, read the policy here. So we'll just pop in a button there. And we've got our section. Now we've done this first one, all right? So what we could now do is then add another section, a one column, we'll make it collapsible, we'll pop the question in as the section name, and then here we will pop in the a text web part with the answer, and then we've also got the link here. I'm just going to now remove this. We'll now add maybe another button here that we'll just paste in the link and we'll go find out more. I'm just going to remove this text web part and that'll do us for now. But we will go through and we could create and grab our questions and our answers from that output. What we might also do, let's just grab an image that we can use for our header. We'll just make it a little bit more visual for us. Let's just use image and title. Let's put some text above our title. Find out all you need to know. And we'll use that there. Now, let's just have a look at our sections. What we might want to do is have this first section expandable by default, but this second section not, all right? So it's collapsed by default. Now we can also break this page up a little bit by using our section background shading. So we've made this collapsed, we've popped this in as a light blue color, and now what we've got is our page that we've now got our collapsible sections. Now what another little change here, I don't really want comments on here, so we'll turn this off and then we will republish. So we can see now we've got the first one expanded. We might not want any of them expanded. So what I'm going to do, I'll just jump back into this here and we'll make this collapsed by default and we'll republish, and now we've got this consolidated now. So we've now got a page that looks similar to an accordion style like so. And again, we could play around with the layout here. So again, what we might want to do is have a vertical section. So a good place for a good web part that could maybe populate in here is more information. Now maybe Nesta is responsible for our leave policy. So what we might do is pop Nesta in, and maybe Miriam could also be a contact person for more information. So we'll republish this page now again, and now we've got the vertical section here, which has got some contact people. We've got our FAQs on the right hand side with our buttons as well, and then that is starting to create a nice little FAQ page that has been directly derived from, and Copilot has created that FAQ for us based on our leave policy document that we've got stored in our policy library. So there we have it, a nice use case for Microsoft 365 Copilot, and just being able to save some time and start to use that in your day-to-day work. Thanks for watching. See you in the next episode.